Hello, you're listening to a We Will Fix It podcast short with Colin Thomas and myself, James Piecowye.
Just to start this off, our absolutely awesome pool cleaner guy said to me, my original business I was doing before COVID, he is a international diving teacher, but he has world champions. He's absolutely incredible.
We're talking like cliff diving? Or we scuba diving?
No, cliff diving or actually his big one, he has cliff divers, but it's the pool divers off the really high boards. Wow. It's that stuff that he teaches here in Dubai. We're an absolute mecca for it. Well, he's now got half the Iranian team, a world champion, and various other people, and he was really struggling through COVID to get this off the ground again. Well, it's now taken off majorly, so it doesn't need to do the pool cleaning anymore. So we decided we'd do it ourselves.
Uh-oh.
And my dad came over.
Okay, that's good.
And he's had a place in France and knew exactly how to do it. And he wrote us the big, long explanation of everything that we needed to do. He was kind enough to write on all of the valves what needed to be where. And obviously, Natalie read through it all, and I completely ignored it. So I know where the valves need to go. Everything's absolutely fine. However, it came to the time where, after the rains that we had last week, the pool was overflowing. Uh-huh. So I'm like, we've got an automatic waste. I've never actually used the automatic waste, but I thought, we've got an automatic waste. I'll use that. So what I did was, what I should have done is open the waste valve, so that way there's no impedance to the flow. Uh-huh. And then put the multi-selector that you get for a pool from filter to waste. Yeah. I decided to do it in the opposite direction.
Uh-oh.
Also, when you're doing that, you should also turn off your pump. I decided, why would I need to do that? Now, you have to remember that the pumps that I'm used to are all house pumps that work on a pressurized system. They're permanently pressured against the pressure kit, so away you go. So I'm going to give myself just a 5% grace in terms of this, but it's an absolute element of stupidity. So what I actually did was I thought, I'll do the multi-selector first, and then afterwards I'll work out what the flow is, and I'll open the waste accordingly. So that way I've got control over whether or not that waste works or not.
Yeah.
So I pushed.
Sounds all good.
Yeah, well, the logic's great and odd, that isn't it? That I'm claiming this. So I left the pump running and I moved it from filter over to waste. And then hear a bit of a gurgling noise. I'm like, here we go. This could be right. I'm about to go and open the waste gate valve when suddenly, bang! The cover of the pool pump filter, which has an integrated filter within it, which is clear that you can look through. You probably know with pool pumps.
I know
you can see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Went straight past my right ear, hit the roof, and there's water everywhere. Okay. No. Well, when you think about it, it's no real surprise. What I'd done is create a blockage in the pipe, which meant that it was all backing up against it, and it's not designed to be a high-pressure pump at all. So that pressure has to go somewhere.
Just going.
I just blew it straight up. So thank goodness it didn't damage me, but it completely shattered the Perspex cover. And anyway, so I knew immediately that second as Natalie came running, shouting, "You absolute beep." She knew exactly what I'd done as well, bless her, and boy, did she let me know. So at that point, I've got a broken pump, I've got a dirty pool, I've got an overfilled pool, and the only benefit I can think about was I knew the supplier of the pump. It was a recent pump as well, so there was a good chance I could get it.
So was the pump damaged or just the filter?
Just the filter housing cover,
filter,
the clear cover that goes on top of it.
Can you get a filter housing clear cover?
Well, I thought
outside of the filter. That sounds pretty odd.
I thought I had a chance on this because I knew the shop and it's where I get all my supplies from anyway. So I thought I had a good chance. So I gave him a call. It was Sunday.
Oh yeah, forget it.
Yeah, forget it. So at that point, I do what I always do when I'm in trouble: send a message to my purchasing team and say, "Okay, this isn't work, but I need your help." And the next morning, they're in at 8. At 8:04, the message came, "Have no fear, Colin. We've got you covered yet again." So what they've actually managed to do was, yes, they do have the cover. Secondly, it was only 100 dirhams. I'm like, get in. Good news. So I picked that up yesterday. And last night, with Ruby holding the flashlight, I replaced it and everything is okay in the world. And I am no longer the world's worst husband. Pretty stupid though, wasn't it?
So what you needed to do first of all was turn off the pump.
First of all, I should have turned off the pump. Secondly, I should have opened the waste. Thirdly, I then put the multi-selector from filter to waste and then turn on the pump. And then that way it's going straight out to the waste. Keeping an eye on the pot because it's got a clear cover so you can monitor it. So that if for any reason that waste I don't know about is backed up somewhere, as soon as I see it, I can turn off the pump to save it blowing again. But just because I know what's actually going to happen, I have made sure that they still have 7 in stock. So when I do it again, because I'm going to do it again, I'll pay my 100 dirhams, down I'll go to the shop, and we'll be back in the same position next time.
And your dad did leave the instructions to do it the correct way.
I presume so. I mean, I haven't read through them, so on that basis...
Still not?
No, I'm not reading them. How dare you? I'm a man. That's for Natalie to read through. She does all the chemicals. I do all the cleaning.
Okay.
So it's a team effort, and therefore it's more important that we basically don't melt the kids than it is for me on cleaning front.